Hola! Welcome back to Grandma Goes Gringo. I'm Grandma, aka Sharon. And before I get started on today's subject, which is touching base on all the different processes involved in moving to a foreign country, even if it's not Ecuador, I want to give a big thank you to all my subscribers. The one thing that concerns me though is everyone's calling me Grandma, and I'm thinking come Christmas, I'm gonna go broke with all these new grandkids. But anyway, the number one piece of advice that I could give you is to do your research. Tons and tons of research before you make a decision. And double and triple check references, etc. And the second piece of information is plan to take a lot of leaps of faith, because how they do things in other countries is not how they do it here. So you're going to be put in awkward situations where you have to make a decision to go with a certain company or to whatever. And it's going to go against the grain to what you've been taught or what you've found to be true throughout your life. I also recommend visiting the place you plan on retiring to prior to moving there. I did it 2 years before my move because I figured just in case it wasn't what everyone told me about or what I had seen online, that would give me a good 2 years to come up with a plan B. Then there's the paperwork, and more paperwork, and more paperwork, and more paperwork. Did I mention there was paperwork? I mean, you've got to get an FBI report, you've got to go to a place, get fingerprinted, get your FBI report. Then you have to send that to the U.S. government and have it apostilled. It's a process of certification or verification that it is a legitimate document. And heaven forbid that you have anything on your criminal record, you then have to go back and go to the city where your arrest was and get a document that states that you either served your time or paid your fines or whatever. And yes, I know this to be true. Then you've got documentation for your pets if you're taking pets with you. And this is insane because you've got to do like rabies vaccinations from 6 months prior to your visit. Then you have to do tests 21 days prior to your visit. Then you've got to do rabies vaccinations and a health certificate, and a lot of places require that you have a USDA certified vet, and they file a report regarding your dog's health online, and this paperwork gets you into the country. Lots and lots of paperwork. I also want to mention about getting your pets to Ecuador. If you fly them in the cabin with you, they have to be in a container that will fit under the seat in front of you. And if your dog is even slightly tall, you're going to be in big trouble because your dog or pet or whatever has to be able to stand up and turn around in that kennel. Now, if you're brave and you want to put your dog in cargo, then you have to consider the fact that, for example, right now, out of Chicago O'Hare or Chicago Midway and most airports in the Midwest, they won't fly pets in cargo because of the heat. So then you try to find a pet transport company, and there are so many out there. So you just have to find out what's best for you. Another really weird thing, and this is obviously not true for other countries that you relocate to, but Ecuador has no incoming or outgoing mail. In fact, most of the homes don't even have addresses, usually only the businesses. So no one can mail you a letter once you're there, and you can't mail a letter out. What you can do is find a courier service or hire a mule. Then there's bank accounts. What I did is I kept my bank account here in the US, and then I opened up a Charles Schwab account and linked my bank account to them. And then once I get to Ecuador, I'm going to open up an Ecuadorian bank account and link it to my Charles Schwab account. So that way I've got fluidity of funds from the US to Ecuador. You have to remember to file a change of address, which I know might sound stupid considering what I just said about there's no mail service, but there's a company that I signed up for, and there are others if you don't want to use this one, and they're called Traveling Mailbox. And what you do is you sign up for them, they give you an address, and you have all your mail sent to them. Anytime they get a letter for you, they will scan the envelope and send you an email with the scan. Then you have choices. You can either tell them to throw it away if it's junk mail, or to open it and scan the contents, or to not open it, or if they've already opened it and you decide to do so, that you can have it forwarded to someone else. And then those people would have to find a way to get it to you. Again, a mule or a delivery service. Then you have to cancel insurance, memberships, subscriptions. I'm keeping my Netflix account because you can watch Netflix there. I'm not sure about Amazon, but I'll probably keep it as well just for the music and the movies. But obviously with no shipping service, you're not going to get any Amazon packages, which blows my mind because I am an Amazon addict. Insurance, they don't take Medicare. You need to cancel that. Any supplemental insurance, or even if you're not ready to retire and you have regular insurance. I'll get into insurance at another time. And if you're moving to a country that has a different language, you definitely need to learn that language. I've always been surprised how people here in the US, when they hear someone speaking their native language, they get all upset and tell them, you know, we speak English here. But yet these are the same people that will go to their country and refuse to learn their language. So I've been studying Spanish for a couple years. If you want to ship all your belongings, you can do so via cargo containers on a big ship. And I've known people who have taken everything in their home, appliances, furniture, a woodworking shop, etc. So that is possibility. But I'm only taking personal belongings, so suitcases only. But it's totally your option. But keep in mind, especially considering Ecuador, which is what I'm focusing on now, you can't just ship a couple boxes over to Ecuador. It's not a possibility. Probably the hardest thing you're going to do is saying your goodbyes to friends, to family. In my case, my beautiful grandchildren, Max and Ruby and Francesca and Daniel. And while I'm at it, I want to also give a big shout out to my nieces and nephews, Vince and Macy and Mariah and Addison and Brooklyn and Maverick. I love you all very much, and I hope you come visit me very soon. I think that's pretty much it as far as the process. Do your research, be very careful what you decide, and I hope that whatever you decide, you'll be very happy. Again, if you like the video, press like, and if you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already.